to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mary Beth?
Councilwoman Chapman?
Here.
Councilman Deegan?
Here.
Councilman Appuccino?
Here.
Councilman Reifenberg?
Here.
Supervisor Albrecht?
Here.
Town Attorney Emily Svensson?
Here.
All present.
Thank you. I would like to make a motion to adopt the agenda as it is.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There are no public hearings this evening. I'd like to make a motion to accept the regular town board meeting minutes of 7/15/24.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence, all official correspondence is on file in the clerk's office. We have some quarterly report presentations tonight, and we're going to start with Highway with John Baxter.
How's everybody doing tonight? Good. So my report's pretty short and sweet like usual. As everybody knows, I'm sure they've seen us out patching potholes and all that good stuff. It's that time of year. We're getting ready for paving. Been working on the ditch lines, getting those clean, trying to keep up with Mother Nature. Seems like every other third or fourth day she's throwing us 5 inches of rain. Pretty much over the rain. In the next few weeks, we're going to be out prepping roads, getting ready for paving. This year, for anybody who doesn't know, we're paving Patricia, Valerie, Forest Valley, Gretna Woods, Charles Street, and Smith Road. Again, I would like to thank the board and coming together and getting me the extra funds to pave the roads that we needed to pave this year. That was great. Please use caution. Many of the work zones that you see, especially Route 44 and the Salt Point Turnpike, that's going to be paved, as well as our own town roads. Please slow down in the work zones. We're not targets. You don't get points for hitting us, trust me. We all like to go home to our family, so please use caution. So the first week of September is when we're planning on paving, but the third and fourth week of August is when we're going to be doing our road prep, so please watch out for the guys when they're out there. For anybody who doesn't know, the compactor is now up and running, the actual compactor part of it. The only thing we have left is just waiting for the electricians coming on Thursday to hook up the split unit for the air conditioning and the heat, and the whole thing will be completed. So again, I want to thank the board for allowing the funds for that and for us to do that job. If you haven't seen it, you should stop by and take a look. My crew's done an outstanding job in building that place. Looks really nice. They've done a really good job. We're in the middle of storm cleanup. As you can imagine, the storm that went through here over the weekend went through like a freight train, so that's going to take us a few days. We will continue to do that. Believe it or not, we're going to be switching into fall mode pretty soon, which right behind it follows winter. So it'll be trimming brush, trees. We'll be doing cleaning out our basins. For anybody who doesn't know, we have almost 1,000 basins in this town, and we need to suck out 85% of them. We're going to try to get them all this year, hopefully. And that winter kind of just brings me to my first reminder that the November 1st through April 15th is the local ordinance. There's no parking on town roads for snow and ice removal. It helps us do it cleanly and more effectively and more efficiently. And also, I know this is always a little piece of contention for some reason, garbage cans. They're kind of a pet peeve of mine. They're supposed to be kept back 3 feet from the edge of the road. Not in the road, not in the cul-de-sac. I know it can be kind of difficult sometimes, but especially when a storm's coming. Again, I'll have more as we get closer, just reminders and all that good stuff. So that's pretty much my report. Does anybody have any questions?
I don't have a question, but I saw the building, and I
Came
was
out nice.
seriously impressed.
And that was
really impressed with our highway guys, because I would not have known that they would have been able to do all that work that they did.
And believe it or not, 95% of the work that was done on that building was done by two guys, my foreman, Rob Edmonds, and he had a helper, Alan Strang. The other guys did fill in on occasion, but they did probably, I'll say 90% of the work, and they did a great job, and I'm real happy. And that compactor should outlive all of us. Hopefully, should get another 50 years out of it easy.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Just you weren't here last meeting.
Right.
But I just want to thank you again for all your support with all the little projects. The amount of
That's what
money
we're
that
here for.
you save the taxpayers of the town by jumping in, for example, installing that building and doing most of that work, and the stuff you've done over at Bauer, it's appreciated, so I thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. I'll pass it on to my crew. We appreciate it. Thank you. And I have road closed, so I got to go attend to. Enjoy your meeting.
Okay, our assessor could not be here tonight, so I'm going to read his report. The new equalization rate has been finalized at 73.25%, and the office is continuing the ongoing process of reviewing the incoming sales and changes to the assessment inventory for the purpose of maintaining future rolls. This year, approximately 180 assessment change exemption removal notices, including STAR, were sent out. The Board of Assessment Review has held its meeting, and including exemptions that were reported, 28 grievances were filed. The final assessment roll has been filed, and the notices of such have been mailed and published. The main focus of the next quarter will be reviewing building permits and files. We continue to receive routine calls, inquiries. Most of these are regarding taxes, exemptions, and potential home buyers with a myriad of questions. Mary Beth?
Good evening. So my report reflects from April 1st to July 31st. So in the clerk's office, we did 196 dog renewals, 2 dog replacement tags, 16 marriage licenses, 17 marriage transcripts, 92 death transcripts. We did 49 fishing licenses, 1 peddler's permit. Total monies to the supervisor was $3,947.23. Total money that went to New York State was $2,764.77. I did 57 notaries within this time period. The transfer station. Please note that the amounts I'm going to give you does not reflect the income. It just reflects the income received from refuse ticket sales. This does not include any expenses that the transfer station has incurred. So the month of April, we took in $4,693. The month of May, we took in $4,252. June, $5,046. July, $5,300. So the total came to $19,291. The total collected for refuse ticket sales for this year was $34,877. So my tax collection is over, but this is what was collected. Total paid to the town, to the supervisor, was $4,907,330.36. Total taxes collected was 3,279 parcels, which added up to $8,098,189.01. Total taxes uncollected was 126 parcels. That was $763,934.26. The total settlement of the collector's account was $8,850,192.69. Can't say the figures tonight. Checks submitted to the bookkeeper. Penalties that were collected was $12,182.58. We had 2 return checks for $40. Second notice fees were $314, and the interest earned on the checking account was $2,167.76. We did 89 handicap tag renewals. We had 19 FOIL requests, and there's 1 pending. So this is about my hometown heroes. So at my last report, a resolution was presented to the town board in regards to an amendment of waiving the Hometown Heroes project fees for the families of service members killed in action. The Hometown Heroes Committee asked for an amendment to this resolution to add on any service members who resided in Pleasant Valley at one time, killed due to extraordinary circumstances or non-combat related injuries. I am pleased to announce the town board voted unanimously on May 6, 2024, in favor of this amendment. On September 7, 2022, Navy veteran and former Pleasant Valley resident Aaron Doc Clancy was killed on his way to work at the corner of Route 44 and Brown Road. He was hit by a driver under the influence of ability-impaired drugs. Aaron Doc Clancy was the father of 2 daughters, a loving husband to his wife Erin. He had many friends and family who loved him. The Hometown Heroes Committee surprised his wife Erin with the purchase of a banner to honor her husband for his bravery, courage, and sacrifice he made for his country. We are pleased to announce that Aaron's banner has been ordered with our next batch of banners and will be proudly displayed at the corner of Route 44 and Brown Road. Thank you to the town board for always supporting our active military and our veterans. Please remember August 7th is 2024 is National Purple Heart Day to honor the badge that was created and the sacrifices made for it. Especially we are now a Purple Heart town. The hunting and fishing licenses for 2024-2025 are now on sale. They've been on sale from August 1st in the town clerk's office. The license year runs from September 1st, 2024 to August 31st, 2025. Deer management permits will be available via instant lottery from August 1st, 2024 through the close of business day of October 1st, 2024. Due to the new regulations with the DEC, Valron paper is no longer an option for printing hunting and fishing licenses. Because of this regulation, there are 2 options for the hunters. They have to choose whether they want their license printed on regular paper, which tears, or have it emailed. My office has purchased waterproof paper to help maintain the integrity of weatherproof hunting tags. As any hunter would tell you, you can tag a deer, as any hunter would tell you, you cannot tag a deer with plain white paper, as it will not hold up to the elements. And we are proud to continue to support our hunters and fishermen. So on a sad note, on June 17, 2024, our town lost a longtime resident and friend, William Bill Connors. Sorry. Bill, sorry.
On June 17, 2024, our town lost a longtime resident and our friend, William Bill Connors. Bill was an avid fisherman and hunter throughout his life. He served on many boards dedicated to wildlife, conservation, and youth programs in New York State and local areas. He served as a deputy clerk for Dutchess County, was the chairman for the Dutchess County Resource Recovery Agency, and was president member of the Dutchess County Federation of Fish and Game Clubs for many years. He was very active in the New York State Conservation Council, New York State Fish and Wildlife Management and Advisory Board, Watershed and Preservation Advisory Committee, Estuary Management Plans Advisory Board, and various state and local youth fishing hunting programs. Dutchess County Deer Search, Hunters for the Hungry, and many levels of education outreach. His passion was shared in a weekly Poughkeepsie Journal Outdoors column from 1994 until his passing. Bill served on the Pleasant Valley Board of Assessment Review for many years. He was always a champion, advocate, and voice in supporting the Dutchess County clerks, and his camera was never out of reach. Our hearts are broken by his passing, but we know he is up there having coffee with his and our friend, prior Supervisor Penny Hickman. Rest in peace, Bill. You are greatly missed. She would like to ask for a blank minute page to dedication for Bill Connors.
I'll make a motion to dedicate a page in the minutes to Bill O'Connors.
Second.
And just, I just want to share two quick stories about Bill. Bill was kind of one of these people that nobody, if you ran into him and you didn't know what he did, you wouldn't realize he did all of that stuff because he didn't really talk about it. But I personally had the honor of meeting Bill, I think during 2020, during COVID. He served on the Regional Fish and Wildlife Management Board representing Dutchess County as a sportsman. And in 2020, the county legislature appointed me as his alternate. And so I got to know Bill, and Bill was never missing at any of the meetings because that was Bill. So, but I remember having great conversations with him, and he was really, he just wanted to teach people and whatnot. And I just want to share one last story about Bill, is that I saw him probably a couple weeks before his passing. He was visiting his wife every day in a nursing home because she got in an accident in their driveway and was at the Pines. And I ran into him. He was in the elevator when we were visiting my wife's grandmother who had a stroke. And I just remember how gentle and kind he was to our two daughters. And that was just Bill. So it's an unfortunate loss for our town.
And also, we have a junior government group in Pleasant Valley, and one of the young men, Lucas Witten, is an avid fisherman, this young man in middle school. And Bill just, started doing things for him. Gave him a book for Christmas about trout fishing and got him involved with releasing the fish into the creek. Along with Mike Butts, he also helped. And so he was really, really good. Good person and really good with the kids.
Thank you. I'm very
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm very proud of my deputies, Kathy and Debbie. They've been working very hard on the policy and procedure manual, record retention, and the new website. My office strives to give back to the community every day. I am truly blessed to have a great staff. Thank you. Big shout out to the residents who believe in us, and we will proudly continue to serve this community. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Mary Beth. Michael, you're up.
Yes, so I'm going to read a report from our Recreation Director, Nikki. Good evening, hope you are all well. As many of you know, we are in the busiest time of the year. This week is our last week of camp. We had over 200 registrations for camp this year, which is a record high for us. We introduced Splashdown as a new trip, and as you can imagine, that was a huge hit. I'm not looking forward to next week when it's all over, but I am excited for the future and look forward to creating a camp program that the town can be extremely proud of. We finished our soccer season in June and are now registering for the fall season. This program keeps growing, and we are looking forward to adding in certified refs for most of the age groups this fall. We had our tall and small ball in May, which was our first ever kids prom. We have over 50 young children and their plus ones join us for a night under the stars here at Town Hall. We are finishing up our summer adult beach volleyball season. They will take a break and start playing at West Road again in September. One of the most exciting things to happen this year was to hire Skyhawks to run programs for us at Helen Aldridge Park. We have successfully run flag football, cheerleading, toddler basketball, and additional toddler classes, and tennis. This fall, we're going to add in track and field and volleyball as well. This opportunity has allowed us to offer programs we had never been able to offer ourselves and bring more people into Pleasant Valley. We had registrants from Poughkeepsie, Hyde Park, Hopewell, and other surrounding towns. Keep an eye out for all the fun we have coming this fall. We have movie night to kick off Pleasant Valley Day, Fright Night at Pathfinder, the Festival of Lights in December, and basketball registration. The most exciting new event we have coming soon is Summer Slam. This is a basketball tournament being held at Helen Aldridge Park for youth through adults. The Harlem Wizards are going to put on a show for us, and we'll have food trucks and Space Jam playing at night. As for the parks, there are 2 new playgrounds coming in the fall at Katy and Helen Aldridge Park, and a swing set added at Bauer. Bauer is also getting a new entrance and exit and a new and improved soccer field that we hopefully will be playing on in the spring. Thank you for all your continued support for REC. It is much appreciated. And go to pv.rec to register or to see what's coming up this fall. That's from Nikki, our rec director.
Thanks, Michael. I'd like to make a motion to open the meeting for public comment. Agenda items only, 1 time, and 3 minutes a person, please.
And so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody like to speak?
Gary Veter, South Point Turnpike. Couple things. I love the website. I can get on the website. I can even get where I want to go on the website. That is an improvement, and I thank you, Dan. The transfer station, I wish he was still here. He said it was going to last another 50 years. Guess what? I put the one that you replaced in about 53 years ago. So he's right. They do last and got your money's worth out of them, and it runs fine. Before we put that in, you used to go to a dump on Pine Hill Road with mud up to your ankles, and so this whole system has been a very good improvement to the valley. I wholeheartedly support the historian you're going to appoint tonight. I think it's a very good choice. I think that's it on the agenda. Thank you.
Anyone else? Not seeing any more. I would like to make a motion to close the meeting for public comment.
So moved.
Second.
All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, new business discussion. General insurance. I would like to go out to bid for our general insurance. I'm not sure it has to be a formal RFP though, right? Because it's very hard to,
Right, it's a professional service, so yeah, we wouldn't need a formal, we wouldn't need to choose the lowest bidder, but we could put out an RFP in order to get proposals if the board wants.
okay, okay. So, do I get a motion on the floor for this, or do we just do it?
Sure, you could get a motion.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion on the floor to put out to bid for our general insurance for the town, which would include all types of insurance, whether it be auto, workman's comp, liability, comprehensive, everything.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And adding a local business directory for the website. Councilman Deegan.
Yeah, so in the vein of using this workshop meeting, I just figured I would bring it up and talk to everybody here about this. So thank you for the kind words, Mr. Veter. You were a little quiet. I was waiting for your feedback on that website. I figured you were building a list up of complaints. Remember, complaints go to Reifenberg, compliments go to me. That was a pre-arrangement. I just wanted to ask everybody, I don't know if I can ask the public too, but I'm curious if we should add a business directory. I kind of like the idea of like promoting local businesses and building community and all that. there's a couple ways to do that. So I think my first question is, if the board likes that idea, if you want me to kind of explain what I'm thinking with that, or if it's kind of self-explanatory, maybe I'll just pause there. What do you guys think about a business directory on the website?
Well, I don't mind it, it's just that it's gonna be quite the task. Because we don't have a directory since 2017 that we actually did in Pleasant Valley. So unless they're part of the Dutchess County Regional Chamber of Commerce, it's gonna be hard to do. So it's gonna be quite a bit of work, is what I'm saying. It can be
There seems to be a
done.
couple ways to do it. I mean, honestly, I think the easy way to do it, but it might be a bit of a cop-out, is just to create a link to the Chamber of Commerce. It's fine, but it's not really doing what it's trying to do. It's like businesses
well, the
that are
problem
in
is not
Fishkill or whatever, that
everybody's-
it's not really helping.
And not everybody's part of the Chamber of Commerce.
The other way I've seen it is, you just have a list of all your businesses by name. Well, but if you're looking for something, that doesn't help you unless you know the name of the business. So I can do a little bit more homework on this. I'm happy to take it on. I guess the question is more, I'll go talk to some businesses if they think, I mean, if it's much ado about nothing and it's not actually gonna help anybody, it's probably a waste of time. But if the businesses think it's good for them, I'm happy to take it on as a task.
So, on the face value, I love the idea. I think my concern is kind of echoing them, is that it's kind of twofold. One, it's pretty labor intensive to keep up on keeping it up to date. So my concern would be, how would you as a government solicit who's going to be on there and how it's going to be arranged to not benefit one business or the other? And I know I'm really thinking into it, maybe
No, we
a little
have to.
too deep, but I just get concerned because it's going to be time consuming.
Yeah.
And as a government, is our job really to, I want small businesses to thrive and be successful in our town. But personally, from my standpoint, and I might be the only one, is we do that through legislation that makes it easier to, and promotes the town to be better for business and whatnot. I like the idea, I just don't know if it's going to do exactly what I think we would want it to do without spending a lot of time and energy, where maybe you yourself could spend it in other ways that might benefit them more.
I'd be
my
fine with
concern.
using like the standalone sites that already exist, but you can't search on them. So they're pretty useless too.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just want to throw it out there. I'll do some more homework if anybody else has any other, I wasn't expecting this to go through with ringing endorsement, but I don't know, I want to figure out if there's something we can do with this site that helps businesses, but not looking to waste time if it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I think
Thanks
it's
for
a
crushing
really,
my dreams.
I think it's a really good thought, though. We're trying to get the businesses on there, I really do. For people from out of town, especially, to be able to go on our website and be able to find different things. Maybe categorize them as to what they do or something like
Well,
that.
I mean, you can, and this is Pleasant Valley, and this is the
Right.
good thing about Pleasant Valley. If you screw up,
Right.
they're gonna let you know that you screwed up, and then you'll add a new category. I mean, that I'm not worried
Right.
about, and I think you would have to make some sort of a requirement where, at a bare minimum, you have to have a website, or you have to have a Facebook page. In reality, you should have a website to be able to link to, and then we don't maintain anything, we just maintain a link. Those would be the two things. But you don't want to miss people and like all the different businesses. Are we, you know, obviously restaurants, but then CPAs, accountants, tree
Yeah.
companies, like,
Do you put my vending business on there? Like, you really
can
get
go-
into the
you can
weeds
go
of,
crazy.
yeah.
but maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. All right, I'll keep digging.
Thank you, Dan. You're up again, Dan. Political lawn sign placement rules.
I must have been having a slow day and was having all this creative thinking. So this one was, all right, so the last election, if anybody recalls, the board decided to enforce the code. I guess this is a code that'd been around for, I don't know, I want to say almost a decade, but it'd been around, but it was enforced in the last election that I ran in. And if anybody remembers, it did not go awesome. There was a lot of conflict. There was unnecessary stress put on town employees, on candidates, on residents. And I can say I've personally run twice. And the year when it wasn't enforced in '21, I had lawn signs everywhere. Every property, I had them all over the place. And I lost that election. It was close, but I lost. The second year when we enforced it, I followed the rules to a T. I had them only on, private property where I was allowed, and I won. So take that for what it's worth. I think everyone, it seems to be somewhat known that lawn signs don't win elections. Knock doors, get out there, talk to people on the other side of the aisle, blah, blah, blah. That's how you win elections. So my idea was to avoid this because it's not great. It did cause some hostility that, we have good energy here, we have positivity, and elections are part of democracy. We should embrace that, but we don't need to hate each other, and lawn signs are a part of that, and it's really silly. So I'm thinking, one, I don't think anybody's going to be down with this, but we revoke the law, which I'm not saying we should do, and the town won't like that. But we either revoke it or we enforce it, but we go a step further, and this is the idea I have. If the board is open to this, and I can do more homework on this, but I was thinking about reaching out to the committee chair, and I think they would be open to this, the committee chair on both sides, and just saying, can we agree on a couple of the hot zones? I live near a bunch of them. So like that triangle on Wigston and Chiro, that is blatantly public property. That is blatantly public. And the last election, I remember, there were signs on there, they went down, and then somebody from out of this area kind of came in and overruled our local rules, and then the signs were there all the time. And then the employees were having to pull them down, and they were up. It was just dumb. There are other spots, I think at the top of West Road, the bottom of West Road, on Main Street, CVS, blatant ones that are public property. I think if we could agree, like, these are no sign zones, knowing that we're going to have gray areas, and those are still going to cause problems. But if we can eliminate some of the hot zones, and one step further, I was thinking we have lawn signs made from the town that are big and orange and say, political signs are not allowed on this property, in this spot, like a Wigston and Chiro. That was my thought.
I think your intent is great, but the fact that we literally had businesses that was private property writing letters to the town that were getting forwarded to candidates and committee chairs and whatnot, saying we do not want any lawn signs on our property, and we had people fighting the fact that the manager of that business didn't have the authority to say that we can't put our lawn signs on private property. I like your intent, but I don't think, unfortunately, from experience, I would hope that people would change, but
Well, there's another path. There's another lawn sign you can make on that. I thought that might be the feedback, and it's fair because you lived it. You can make another lawn sign that says, same thing, the top of the sign says, political signs are not allowed here. If somebody puts their sign here, that just means they think the law doesn't apply to them. But God bless America, it's a free country,
yeah,
and you have your election.
yeah. I mean, other towns have these codes,
Yeah.
and either the candidates follow the code because they're running for office, or the town just enforces the code and takes them down. To your point, we're in a conundrum because the town takes them down and then people put them back up again. So I think we need to do work between now and the next local election to maybe just look at the law and really make it black and white, because that was kind of the problem, is there was gray areas. But I think the intent of the board members 10 years ago, when they put that into law, I'd love to ask them actually what their intent was, and find out.
Some of them are gray areas, some are not. Like
Yeah,
Wigston and
some of them
Chiro
are pretty
is
black and white. But I think there's ways that we can tweak it to make it more clear
Yeah.
and have the town more of a leg to stand on. I don't know, I see you go
Yeah,
for it.
I just wanted to add the provision that we were specifically targeting says no sign shall be placed in or extend into any town, county, or state highway right-of-way. So that's, any right-of-way, no signs, which, you kind of want that for, like business signs and stuff shouldn't be in the right-of-way unless there's a specific permit for it.
Yeah.
But there are other provisions in the code that really probably are no longer enforceable due to more recent court decisions. So if we wanted to undertake a project to sort some of that out and streamline it to be more legally defensible, and we could certainly do that and try to address the temporary signs.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm not against political signs. I'm against conflict. I'm just afraid of somebody going on a property and now you have an issue, and I just want to avoid that over a silly political sign.
think-
I don't want problems between
I
people.
think to your point, Councilman Deegan, is you either take the law and get rid of it,
Yeah.
or we have a responsibility to adjust the law to make it more clear
Right.
and enforceable. Because the way it stands now, obviously, is not either one, it's not clear or enforceable. So I would love for us to take the time to work on that and make it more clear, or revoke the law, one or the other, but we can't leave it the way it is now.
But I do have to say something. If people are running for office out there, you all out in TV land, if you don't have any friends in this town where you can put one of your signs on a piece of private property, then you probably shouldn't be running.
Yeah.
Old business discussion.
Hold
But-
on, you skipped over 12D.
I'm supposed to read something for that. Okay, so 12D is Herb and Sue Rettle Day, and it's Herb and Sue and played an important role in creating a vision for their community and made valuable contributions to the town of Pleasant Valley through their donations of office space, parkland, real estate, community events, and Pleasant Valley's 150th sesquicentennial. They served as an example of achievement, leadership, community service, and dedication. On January 9, 2023, the town board proclaimed August 17th the Herb and Sue Ann Rettle Day for their support, kindness, and generosity to our town. And their daughters are continuing with that support, kindness, and generosity, and are going to be helping us as much as possible also. Old business discussion. Oh, Dan, you're really on the hot seat
It's,
tonight, babe.
this Deegan guy, I'm tired of him
Yeah,
already.
you
Um,
really.
All right, so the website, it's live, it's running. Thank you to Mary Beth and her staff. They've been awesome to work with. I think people are happy with it. We're still not all the way there with like agendas and minutes. I think we're, what do you think, Mary Beth? The last 2 years, are we roughly current for agendas and minutes? Yeah. So just to everybody here and on TV land, if there's something on there in terms of agendas and minutes, we didn't lose anything. So if there's something that's not on there, we can track it down. But as this goes, we're going to have everything on there that we had prior. I just had one other thing I was thinking about putting on, a page for volunteering, nonprofit or volunteering. So I'm going to put it up and find sites like to link to, like the Pantry, Duchess Outreach. But I'm open to any, if the board's okay with that and if the public's good with that, just established places that people can go volunteer their time. I would like to try to focus on Pleasant Valley. So if there's things that I don't know about, I'm reaching out to everybody. I don't know. So please email me and let me know if there's something that we should promote on the website in terms of volunteering. So I think that's missing. And then can I just jump to 13B so I don't have to listen
Yes,
to myself
please.
anymore? Okay, good. The basketball, so if everybody remembers, we awarded the contract to the engineering firm MJ Engineering. They're coming up with the construction docs, the budget for the project. We should have that in 4 to 5 weeks. There's a construction meeting this week on site. And then, so 5 weeks is the next kind of deadline of where we're going to have a bid package to send out for bid. In reality, this project is probably not going to be completed because of the weather until early spring. We could finish it by the winter, but I think you don't want to do that with risk of freeze thaw. So it'll probably be a early spring completion, but plenty of time for kids to be playing basketball in the spring and summer. So far so good. And I'm not talking anymore.
Okay. Resolutions. I'd like a motion for Town Board Resolution 800 of 2024, appointment of 2 alternate members to the Fire and Life Safety Review Board.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'd like a motion for Town Board Resolution number 801 of 2024, appointment of new town historian, which will be Charles A. Holzizer.
So moved.
Second.
Just
All in favor?
Just really
Yeah.
quick, I think it's important that we thank Fred Schaefer I don't know how many years he was the town historian. It was a long time though, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mary Beth, how long was, over 20 years?
Over 20 years?
Over 20 years?
Yeah, but the last two have not been him. He's been there. Cole, Mary Cole, usually after him, and one other one after him.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, all right.
Well, I just want to publicly thank him because he's volunteered a lot of years to this position and sad to see him go. But I know he has other endeavors that he's working on, so.
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I'd like a, oh, go
I'll
ahead.
make a motion to allow Resolution 802 of 2024 on the agenda.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like a motion for the Town Board Resolution 802 of 2024, resolution authorizing the town supervisor to execute a contract with Acoustic Distinctions for a noise study.
So moved.
I'm having a hard time here.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And do you mind before can I get recognized before
Sure.
public comment?
Sure, Mike.
So I want to share another super quick story with the board of something that happened to me yesterday personally. And with us going into budget time, I think it's important that I share it while it's fresh on my mind. Hopefully it's the last time, but yesterday we had an incident with our 12-month-old and had to call 911. And I just want to thank Chief Johnny Kronk and Kenny Wallace and Empress. It was during the service hours of Empress. They showed up. Johnny was at our house within 5 minutes of hanging up the phone. Kenny was there and Empress was right behind Johnny. So sometimes it's easy to take for granted, one, the volunteer fire department and the people like Kenny and Johnny who show up for absolutely no charge and just show up because they care. And just everybody that volunteers and the amount of money that they save the taxpayers of this town by doing that. It was a nice reminder of the amount of time they all put in. But also, it put things into perspective for me for paying for something like Empress. I know it's going to end up turning into probably their contract's up, and we're going to have discussions again about renewing their contract in the next month or two as we go into budget time. But the fact that we have them to show up, God forbid for these emergencies, I mean, for our home, we pay under $200 the entire year for the guarantee that an ambulance will show up if we need it. So it just put things into perspective for me yesterday, and I just wanted to share it because we're going to be having these discussions within the next couple of weeks. So I appreciate what the fire department does.
Thanks, Michael. I'd like to make a motion to open the meeting for public comment for new items only, non-agenda items. Do I hear?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
John Dunn, Netherwood Road. I know we were only supposed to talk about one subject, but Mr. Deegan had to bring this up, and Gary Vita brought it up, and I think it's great to have that new website. It looks great, and I completely agree with your talk about somehow getting the names of businesses, local businesses out there. And while I know it's not the job of the town to promote any specific business, so we've got to be kind of touchy on that, I guess. But it certainly would be beneficial to the local businesses to have their names out there and to encourage people to shop the local businesses as opposed to going to Wappingers, to the Galleria, or something of that nature. That said, what I was originally going to ask is how things were going with Aldrich Park, how the bathrooms are coming, and I'm kind of hearing some problems about the well, and I just wanted to ask if there's a
There's no
there.
problem with the well.
There is,
Um,
okay.
No, what I have been waiting for, and the gentleman called me on Friday, is there was a grant situation that we had to change a little bit. And I think it's going to be okay, but I probably will be hearing from him tomorrow or Wednesday for sure, so that we can move forward and get this done. But we have the building picked out, we have to do the septic, the line's already been put in for the well and for the conduit for the electric across Baker Field. That's all done, it's been reseeded, it's all ready to go. So, no, there's no problem with the well whatsoever.
Okay. No contamination, nothing?
No,
Okay. Okay.
no.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Gary Veer, South Point Turnpike. Land of forever rain and grass. Okay,
Gary, can you move that up a little bit? We can't hear you. Well, not quite that high.
got it?
Thank you.
I didn't know you wanted to hear me, so that's okay. I don't know whether you all noticed, but the library did a survey. And that's, I think that really hits on a lot of points. And I think if you haven't read it, I would appreciate it if the town board has.
We all received it.
Did you?
Yep, we all have it. Thank you.
Because we did that back in the 70s. And you know what? It hasn't changed that much. Opinions are still pretty much in line. They don't want a whole bunch of houses and so forth. They want rural land and farms. That's been going on forever. I mean, there will be progress and there will be this and that, but it is certainly nice to be able to go to a local farm market. There's two of them on South Point Turnpike, and get fresh stuff right from there, you know, and we should support that. And that's, I think, that the, yeah, that's basically it. But that survey had a lot to say, and it was interesting.
Hello, Rebecca O'Halloran Circle. I just kind of wanted to throw in some thoughts. I like the idea of local business directory. I know it seems like there needs to be a lot of tweaking involved with it, but I know that my family and I, we just participated with the Dutchess County Regional Chamber of Commerce, the local scavenger hunt, and it was all across the Hudson Valley. But I didn't see anything in Pleasant Valley. And I know we have businesses here, so I think it would be great to highlight that. Not only that, I don't go on Facebook a whole lot, but my mom, I know she'll send me, like, you know, I guess I'm Pleasant Valley exclusive. People look for different businesses and local, you know, like there's like a young man who's doing detailing and someone's looking for, you know, mowing and stuff. And I think that would be also another great thing to maybe somehow highlight some of just like the local and stuff, having to go to Angie's List or Thumbtack, like just staying right here in the valley with people who really need the extra work. And along with business, I've been mostly listening at home because pregnancy's got me detained, but but I wanted to comment, Dan, I heard you speaking, I think it was the last meeting, about with the old feed store that is up for sale, and obviously now I see the old car stop right there next to Dunkin' Donuts, and now the bike shop, which breaks my heart, but I liked your thought about having a local hangout cafe spot. You know, I remember, again, my mom sending me something about, like, people commenting, what should go here, Chick-fil-A, and this and that. I'm like, small towns like Pleasant Valley, Red Hook, Rhinebeck, I don't see them thriving on big box business kind of stores. I see them thriving on individual localized stuff. So the idea of a coffee shop for young, old, anybody to just have a spot, I think that the integrity of that spot, the Maston Feed store, I went in and out of there for years getting rabbit feed and helping my neighbors get chicken feed and stuff. And I love that we maintain local. So I really like the idea of having something like that. You know, maybe that building not necessarily stay exactly the same, but keeping it a local thought would be great. So, good stuff.
Thank you. Anyone else? I would like to make a motion to close the public comment section.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I would like to make a motion to enter an executive session for 105.1F and attorney-client.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for coming.
I make a motion that we come out of executive session at 8:55 PM and no action was taken.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.